Good morning, Ms. Adeva. For today's video, we're going to present our defense for our final project, the perception of student towards online classes as the new normal. Next. For the table of contents, first, research of research problem or the introduction. Second, statement of the problem. Third, respondents of the study. Fourth, the questionnaire. Fifth, results and finding. And lastly, discussions and conclusion. Research background and introduction. The COVID-19 pandemic led an abrupt shift from in-person to virtual instruction in the spring of 2020. The health crisis led to one of the largest disruption in the Philippines education system. Beginning in the March 2020, hundreds of millions students attending school in person at all education level abruptly shift to online learning due to the stay-at-home policy that was put in place to curb transmission of the virus. School disclosure due to COVID-19 has brought significant disruption to education across the Philippines. As the class started, a lot of problems were faced, not just as how the student will cope in the online classes, but also the problem that focus on how the student will attend the school. Next. The COVID-19 pandemic has started the largest disruption of education system in human history, concerning nearly 1.6 billion learners in more than 200 countries. Closures of schools, institutions, and other learning spaces have impacted more than 94% of world's student population. This has brought far-reaching changes in all aspects of our lives. The COVID-19 pandemic has started the largest ay next na ay. The online classes has become a bridge of students and teachers so that they can continue to communicate, and it has also become the way for us to continue our education. Because of this, our new normal has a lot of difficulties at first. Many have problems with how to get through it, especially since not everyone has a strong internet connection.
Statement of the problem. This study aimed to determine if either online class has a great impact of the learning modality of the student by how these students describe the online classes. Specifically, the student aims to seek answers to the following questions. How do students describe their experience of attending online classes? Do students experience difficulties, struggles while attending online classes? If yes, what are those experiences? How do students cope with those struggles?
The respondent of this study are students who experience online classes or online education due to the crisis of the pandemic. The grade level of the respondent is grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, and lastly colleges from different schools and universities in our country, which is the Philippines. This defense presents the number of students through the city that was chosen to be the respondent of this study. First respondent, female, 17, year 12, who chose to face-to-face than online class. Second respondent, female, 16, year 10, who happened to have difficulties in their internet connection. Third respondent, female, 14, year 9, who says that online class is maayos naman na nakakaya lang na hindi nasanay. Fourth respondent, female, 17, year 11, says that during online classes, our teachers-students interaction is not quite efficient. Fifth respondent, female, 19, college, who enjoyed the attending online class despite the struggle she go with. Sixth respondent, male, 12, year 7, whose struggles are lack of internet and the only solution that he came up with is by having a load or mobile phone. Seventh respondent, male, 14, year 8, who uses a laptop as his gadget in attending online class.
Questionnaires. First, which do you prefer, online classes or face to face? And why did you choose that? Explanation to the first question. Third, are you using mobile internet or Wi Fi? Fourth, what kind of gadget do you use in attending online classes? Phone, laptop, or computer? How do you describe the interaction between the student and teacher during class? And lastly, do you happen to experience difficulties or struggles while attending online class? Yes or no?
The overriding purpose of this research was to determine or understand the perception of students towards online education or online classes that we are facing in today's world due to pandemics, COVID-19. The objectives of this study were to explore the perspective of students on online classes and a blended new learning environment through the research questions that were given to the respondents. To accomplish that goal, it becomes necessary to reach some prerequisite goals, determining what general education means and how that ideal is connected with the field of online education assume a high degree of importance during the literature review conducted for this dissertation.
This study was conducted in a real-world setting to identify and evaluate students' experiences with online learning. As a result, a survey instrument was distributed to grade 11 ABM students from a different school in Hingaog City in order to examine their perception of online learning. In summary, the study discovered that students struggles in their online classes due to the some amount of difficulties in online courses based on their experiences, despite the efforts are exerted by students for the betterment of their online class experience. It points out that there are certain problems that our students are facing in online classes today. The first problem is the internet connection. Probably the internet sometimes is weak. In conclusion, the students are okay with the new normal right now, which is the online class, but they prefer the face-to-face class because according to them, they can learn more if the teacher is in front of them and due to some problems in online class. But they are still thankful for an online class because this is the only way that we students can continue our dreams and achieve them.
Discussion and conclusion. The results of this research show that most of all the respondent has a problem with their internet connection, and also the problem with the interaction of students and teachers in online classes where some of the students want a face-to-face class to have a proper interaction with the teacher so that they can learn more and listen carefully because sometimes in online classes there is a tendency that they can't listen carefully due to some barriers that they can use other apps while they're having class, and due to this they can follow what the teacher was saying. In this results of research, we confirm some problems that we researchers also encountered through joining an online class, and the respondent also have the same problems. And with this, we know and see their perceptions in online classes. This research describes the perception of students towards online classes. In order to know their perception, we conduct a survey of 18 students from grade 7 to college students.
For this part, we will be hearing the answers of the researchers with this question. Number one,
What made you choose your topic? We choose this topic because when we were brainstorming about what topic we could suggest, it came up with, we had a related topic and we came up with the title of Perception of Students towards online classes as a new normal. And we choose this topic because as a student, we also want to know if we're not the only one that has some trouble with doing online classes. And we also want to know how other students face the troubles or challenges in online classes.
Number 2, what is the most significant result that you found out in your study? Well, the most significant result that we found out in this study is just like our research topic, the perception of students towards online class. In this study, the most significant thing is to understand the perception of students in online class or online education. What are their difficulties and struggles? What are the things they do to cope with their struggles? And for me, it is the most crucial thing that we found out in this study.
Number 3, what is your takeaway in the whole process of doing your research? While doing this research, I've learned that it is really hard since it talks about perceptions of someone other than ourselves. And also, it is important to synthesize every compound from different pieces of information or knowledge that can be found in internets and some articles. And also, it is really important to get from your past experience para na kay, what do you call that? For you to, in order to learn from your research. That's all.